Oh my god. What's up, all you cool kids? This is Daisy Collins of TsunamiRose.net coming at you live from my craft room here in Las Vegas, Nevada, as I do Monday through Friday, bringing you guys junk journal content. So if this is the type of stuff that you like, please do remember to hit that subscribe button and give me a little thumbs up on this video. It lets me know that you care. So you guys, thank you guys so much for joining me today. Continuing on from yesterday's saga of making pleats, ruffles, you pick the word. To some, they're pleats, to some, they're ruffles. So that's why I put both in the video. This is for junk journals. I'm not like a seamstress. This isn't Project Runway, so pick a word, and that's what we're doing today. Yesterday, I made a bunch of 1-inch strips of different bed sheets that I have in my stash, and I cut them all at 1-inch strips. So, I mean, sometimes they're a little bit bigger, sometimes they're a little bit smaller. They still kind of blend in. Right here, at one point, the fabric was kind of thicker, but you know what? It's okay. So that's what I'm going to show you guys how to do today, or that's what I'm going to continue on doing today. I have done this in the past in my video, on my channel, but I'm just doing it again, so I thought I would film it again. So I really like this method. You can use a bunch of different fabrics, and they all blend in very, very well. Hi, Letitia. Are you sure? You're right. I just play one on TV. Hi, God's Desire for me. How are you? So I also, so it's just a good idea to like have different types of fabrics. I did a bunch of patterned fabrics, and I don't really have a lot of solid color fabrics. So they're all basically floral. And I can see I do have, these are my two pattern, the gingham and this striped fabric here. Okay, so I have a bunch of strips of fabric here to use that I cut up in the last couple days. And so they're all 1 inch, and they're all pretty much different lengths. I would say about 10 inches would be ideal. It shrinks to about half. So most of these are about 3 inches long. So they must have been 6 inches tall. It really, really shrinks it down significantly. So I would say start about 10-inch long strips. Of course, you could do 12. It really doesn't make them that much bigger. But about 10 is good. So the next thing you'll need is like a little like straight pokey tool. You could use a seam ripper. Just you need something to scooch the fabric underneath this next thing that I'm going to show you. So something pointy. And then a piece of chipboard. This piece of chipboard here is 1/2 inch. It's about 1/2 inch. It's probably a little bit tinier. I couldn't exactly measure 1/2 inch in my paper cutter. If you're not measuring an inch on my Procision paper cutter, you're on your own. So this is about 1/2 inch, and the length of it doesn't really matter. You use it on your hand, so what is this one? It's probably about 8 inch right here. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 6 inch, but length doesn't matter. The width is what matters, 1/2 inch. That's important. Okay, so I am going to start off with a piece of fabric. I got my sewing machine. I have a regular thread. The thread that I actually buy is back on sale on Amazon. For a while, it was out of stock, and I was like really bummed out about it because I actually really like the thread, and I wanted to buy a new set myself. So the thread, the link of it has been in my description forever. I guess I've just been waiting for it to come back on stock, but they have really cool threads in different colors, and it's a really good deal. Hi, Michelle. How are you? Okay, so we are going to start off with straight stitch, and at regular length. I haven't really messed with it. The first part of it might be a little bit off. You could always cut this later. But what I did is I just put in the strip in the middle. I put the needle in the middle of the strip here as much as I can. Then I'm putting my little chipboard tool here underneath the fabric. I'm going to use my pointy tool. So I have the chipboard piece on my left hand, the pointy tool on my right hand. And I just tuck in the fabric underneath. And you could tell that it's straight, so that's good. And you lift it up. And we're going to stitch that on. When we've already hit that, when you can feel it hit the pleat or ruffle or whatever, we're going to do another one. And then you can kind of hold it down. You don't have to. Sometimes you go a little bit too fast and you go a little bit too forward. So you could just tuck your little tool in underneath where the needle is being held, the foot, lift it up a little bit. Move your tool, make sure you're straight. It's very important to make sure that you're straight. And you don't have to hold it, but I do, just in case. Again, we're going to tuck it underneath. And you actually go so slow at this. This is not a race. If you want them to be nice and looking pretty, then you kind of want to take your time with it. But it really doesn't deviate from the middle of the thread. I mean, the needle doesn't really deviate from the middle because I go so slow. It doesn't really have time. So here's the last part of the fabric, right? So the last part of hi Eula, how are you, girl? So the last part here, what we're going to do is we're going to tuck this in underneath. And now we want to continue on with the new fabric. So I'm going to grab this fabric, and I like to lay it on top a little bit like this, because then I can use the tool to tuck it in underneath, and I don't have to work at it too hard. And then again, we just make sure they're straight. And then again, and that's just the name of the game right there. Sometimes you don't have space to tuck it in underneath. And so sometimes you do have to put the next piece of fabric like right here. But usually you can tuck it in underneath. And that's pretty much how it's done. Like I said, you go so slow at it though that you really don't have time to mess up because it's just such a slow process. But I love it. I love doing this. Eventually you get your own pace. But again, this is not a race. This is a very, very slow process, but it is, I don't know, something to do. Something to do. How about that? Hi, Janet. How are you? And I love Ruffles and these pleats or whatever you want to call them. And whenever I have a bunch of it, I don't even want to sell it because it took me so long to make. I don't even know how much I would have to charge for it because it took me so long to make it. But I love using it in my journals. I'll show you guys in a second once I switch fabrics what it is that I use them for. I basically sew them to the edge of my journal pages. It makes the book look nice and fluffy, and I love it. Here's the last tuck. You have to try and make sure it's like tight a little bit, tight. You don't want to loose. Okay. So there we go. Grab our next fabric. Again, lay it on top just a little bit, and then tuck it in. Little pokey tool. I've used several pokey tools. I've used my seam binder. Again, you just want to make sure that it's straight on here. This one here is a little bit bigger than this one, but that's okay. It'll blend in anyways. And then once you feel it hit that pleat right there, we're going to make the next pleat. And that blends in those two fabrics right there. like that. And I just love the way, like, the fabric really does blend seamlessly. It almost looks like a gradient. You know what I mean? It looks really pretty. Like it just continues on seamlessly, and that's what you want, people. Daisy, have you thought about getting a ruffling? But girl, I got one, and I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I have it. I bought it. But the one that I bought, I don't know if there's another one. But the one that I bought, it doesn't do the ruffles down the middle like I want it. It does the ruffles here on the edge. And I want the ruffle down the middle. So I don't know if that's just, oops. Make sure I'm back on screen because it's so hard to get this close up screen. Okay, we're good. Let me figure out that pleat. Then we go to the next one. I have the foot. Maybe there's another foot that does the ruffles here in the middle. Because the one that I bought, I guess, just doesn't here on the edge. And I'm just not feeling it. And it's really hard. Like, I haven't been able to make it work. But it's also been a minute since I've tried. So maybe I just need to try again. So there we go. The last piece. It wants to spring back, but we won't let it. What you're making right now is a pleat. Yes, I know it's a pleat, but if you go on Junk Journal Junkies or any of the Junk Journal chats and call it a ruffle, people will agree with you. In the Junk Journal community, it's still up for debate. It is. It's a very controversial topic. Hey, Jude, how are you? Okay, well, is there a pleat maker, pleat foot? I know, I'm causing controversies over here, Eula. I'm causing stirs, I'm making waves. Ruffle is what you make it. PC me never works. See, that's what I'm saying. Like the ruffles and the whole pleat. Like I'm sure it's a non-debate in the fashion community. But to us junk journalers, if you post this and say you're making ruffles, people will be like, "Work, that's cool. I love your ruffles." So I don't know. I don't even know what to say. Let's look at this. It's still very, very short right here. It's kind of funny when I want to look at it, but it's like way too short. Okay, putting my camera back. Okay, we're good. We're back. Okay, so again, to make my pleat ruffle mix. Sorry, my little whiteboard that I have my stuff on is moving around. Hang on, I'm thirsty. Okay, so we're going to continue on here. So see, sometimes it ends right here, so you can put the fabric in between the pleat and the last bit of fabric. I don't think I've used the yellow one. I have not. Okay. So we're going to take this and we're going to put it right here in between. Just let it settle in. I'm not like trying to rush it or push it in. Just kind of trying to lay it down and I'm going to put the foot down. We are just going to continue on right there like that. Like it never happened. And again, you catch your own speed, but this is a slow process, but it's fun. It's fun when you get all the fabrics and seeing them all mixed together. It's fun too. It's just a lot of fun here. Okay, we're going to the next one. You're right, Eula. You are right. We must all sound a little silly to scientists, huh? Let's see. Tuck that underneath. My mom's friend knows how to, I guess she's a seamstress a little bit. She knows how. And she was watching me make this. She's like, oh my God, you're so fast. I'm like, what are you talking about? This take me for friggin' ever. She's like, oh, look at her. She's so fast. I'm like, okay, if you say so. I'm sure there's machines that will do this in a second. But we are haute couturiers here, so you know, do things by hand because we're what? Couture. That's why. That's right. That's right. Just talking nonsense, of course. I don't know what I'm actually talking about. It's all good. It's all good. I'm looking at my bobbin. The worst thing ever is freaking running out of bobbin. Oh my gosh. It's the worst. Oops. Sorry, hit the camera. It's my pokey thingy. So I've tried to use other materials to make this little stick thing. Again, this is 1/2 inch by, this is probably about 6 inches long. You could make it any size, but about 4 to 6 inches will work. I've tried to make it out of different materials, and this little piece of chipboard just really does the trick at like sliding the fabric in and out. And I don't even know where I got this tool. I don't even know what it is. This pokey thingy that I have from somewhere. I don't even know. Let's see. Pleat, ruffle, tsunami. Take that, fashion gurus. Ruffles to make are time consuming. Pulling up the thread to make the ruffle. Okay for dressmaking, been there, done that. Yeah, ruffles are really hard. Actual ruffles, I don't know why I could never do them correctly on the sewing machine. There's a way, like I said, I did it one time. I was able to do it correctly, and then I was never able to do it correctly again. So that sucked. Let's see. God's desire for me says that this tool is for pedicures. I don't think it's ever been used for pedicure. Where did I even get this? I don't even know why I have this. I don't use it for pedicures. Please don't think that. That's what it's for. But it's also multi-purpose. That's also multi-purpose. So don't judge me. I swear, I would lick this right here. It's clean. I haven't, I swear. As soon as we hit that pleat, you go to the next one, that ruffle. Call it what you will. Come fight me. Again, it's not fast, but you do catch your own little pace. Again, you want to make sure that the material hanging off is straight. You don't want to make sure, you don't want to sew it like this. You want to tuck it all nice and even. You can even, you have to make sure the fabric stays straight right here. It needs to stay straight. Okay. And you see how this is already like bent? You see how this is like already hella bent? Well, eventually you'll have to cut off yourself another piece. So just so you know, this tool is a piece of chipboard and it will not last forever. By the way, there is such a thing as a pleater, but you do it your way. There is a thing as a pleater. Hey, I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look it up. Thank you so much for the suggestion. I appreciate you. Okay, there's the last part. Okay. Okay, my next piece. I need some chapstick. Where you go? Here it is. I got chapstick. Okay. Okay, so now we continue on to the next strip. Lay it on top a tiny bit and then tuck it underneath. Again, this strip also has to be straight. There we go. Okay. Now, you can mess up. It happens. Not to me, maybe to you. I'm just kidding. I mess up all the time. What is cool about this is that if you do mess up, you can always cut it at the part where you messed up and then sew it back together, like literally. So don't be too scared. Mistakes can be definitely cut out. Imagine the old days, they didn't leave the fancy stuff we got today in their work as far as repair, right? You're right. You are right. This is some, if I had one of those old school sewing machines, that would be part of a doomsday prep, you know what I mean? Like, but oh my god, a pleating foot, a pleat maker. That sounds nice right about now. Right about now. This plus what I made earlier makes a nice, probably like 3 feet. It's probably about 3. No, okay, I'm kidding. It's probably about 6 feet that I've done. I'm like looking at my little bunch, wondering how much. It's probably about 6 feet here. Plus what I made right here live even. Yeah, we're hitting it. See, sometimes like right here, the fabric lays on top. It just had to be that way. But anyways, okay. Thank you so much, Jude. My shop is still 50% off your $50 order on Troubleshooting Printables if you guys are interested. The link is in the description down below. Okay, so let's take another strip here. Okay, we're going to tuck it in underneath. Again, you could use a seam ripper as your little pokey tool. I don't know what else I would use. I guess you could use a pen, not a pencil. It has to be kind of flat and straight. It's kind of weird. I've also had like, I think it has something to do with rings for like earrings. This pokey tool that I have, this random pokey tool, I've used this also. And this also will work. Don't know what it's called. I think it's in the jewelry making section. It's almost like an awl, but it's like a very skinny awl. And I think it's for jump rings or something like that. I've used that too. I just end up literally poking myself with it. So I've retired to more blunt items like this tool right here, which I guess is for pedicures. Where did I even get this? I'm trying to think where I got this. Nothing's coming to mind. I think I've had it since I moved here. I can't remember. Okay. We are still going on these ruffle pleats. These pleats. I just really, really enjoy looking at the different fabrics kind of blending in. You know, like it looks so pretty. Like a nice gradient of weird sorts. I just really like looking at it. It's beautiful. If you guys are new to my channel, let me show you what I use it on. Here's a journal. I don't even know if this one's done, or I can't remember what I'm doing with this one. But here's a journal. Oops. That I made, and I like to put the ruffles on the edges of pages like this. And then I make this other different type of trim that I'll make soon also. But I really like to sew the trim to edges of paper. I just think it adds a sort of look. You know what I mean? It makes the book look nice and fluffy. I love it. I just love it. So now that I don't have any more, I'm like really sad. So it's time to make another stash. Last time I made a huge, like really big rolls of it. And I mean, that took me probably about a week. Probably about a week of nonstop pleating or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so we're on the last one. Check it in. I do kind of use my tool right there to hold it in place as kind of a weight of sorts. Here's this fabric. And then it also helps to be pokey, so that way you can move the fabric a little bit underneath, kind of move it around a little bit. As soon as you hear it hit that plate, you put in the next one. Again, making sure your fabric is nice and straight. I'm trying to figure this out. I know. Yeah, we're good. Okay. I could probably make about 3 feet of this an hour, I would say. That makes yeah, I think that's right. About an hour's work, I'd get 3 feet of it done. Definitely enough for one journal, but I like to make way too much, so. I have a whole bag of fabric strips to go through. So we're gonna finish those. I have nothing else to do at my mom's house. But make pleats right now. That's all I have to do. Besides help her here and there. So that's what I'm on right now. Is taking care of my mom. She's getting better though. She's feeling too good. Let's just say that. Let's just say this girl is feeling way too good because she's trying to do everything, and I'm just trying to tell her, I don't care how good you feel. You need to rest. You need to stop trying to do normal activities. Stop. Like, she's trying it, y'all. we had breakfast, and then I hear like I come sit down so I can sew, and I'm like waiting for her to like come in the living room. And I just hear her do this, and I hear her do that, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm taking off the food scraps from the stove." And I'm like, "Why don't you just tell Dad to do it when he gets home?" And my mom was like, "Well, blah blah," and then she did it. And then I'm like, "Okay, fine." So I hear her do something else, and I'm like, "What are you doing now?" And she's like, "I am cleaning off the crusty container of sweetened condensed milk that your dad uses because he doesn't clean it and it gets all crusty." I'm like, "Mom, you're ridiculous. Come sit down and rest. Like, you just had surgery like 5 days ago, 4 days ago. You need to rest. You need to stop using your body." That woman finally came to sit down. "You are like just being so ridiculous right now, cleaning the container of sweetened condensed milk, Mom. Oh my God. Like, stop." Being so like extra right now. Like, rest." My mom does not know how to sit down. That woman, that woman will, oh my God, work herself to death because she can't sit down. It takes her everything I got in me to tell her to sit down. It's a little frustrating. See right here, it has to be. It has the you're gonna have to see the fabric there. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. Tucking it in. Okay. I'm already frustrated talking about her. Yula says, "I have discovered a bunch of videos to show people making fabulous pleats, ruffles, bows, piping with no fancy tools at all. For example, all-fashioned designs." Very cool. Thank you so much for the suggestions, Yula. I will look those up. I'm always interested in doing something, very technical, but then kind of doing it a little bit more junkified for junk journals. So thank you so much, Eula. I appreciate your suggestions. I'll definitely look them up. Okay, so here's the last part of this. These pieces here are a little bit shorter, but that's fine. And making sure we're nice and straight here. Oh, I love this. I love this fabric so much. It's so cute. Super cute. Excellent. Daisy, do you make fabric or paper racks for your journals? What do you mean, paper racks? Michelle, please clarify for me. Okay. Michelle. Yula, oh, that sounds fabulous. That sounds right up my alley, girl. Thank you. Okay, we're on this side now. underneath. Make sure it's card or chipboard, cardstock chipboard. Gotta make sure it tucks in. Sometimes you have to use your fingers, your little fingerlings. Okay. Okay, there we go. In it. There we go. Now we'll go to the next one. And this is actually a curtain. This fabric strip here that I'm using is actually a curtain. I think Irina sent me that. Or Rhonda. Who sent me this fabric? One of y'all. It was nice enough to send it to me. Oh. Of course, you can always make this themed if you wanted to. You can use Halloween fabrics for Christmas colors, Christmas fabrics. It would be fabulous. Okay, that's nice and choked in. 1 second. I watched Scrap the World on YouTube. She made them. What'd she make? Christmas racks? Fabric? I don't know what racks are. Like, or is that just giveaways? I'm not. I'm just not understanding what that is. What a fabric rack or paper rack is. What I don't know. I don't know. I have to look it up when I get a second. I know. Scrap the World. I know of that beautiful lady. I'll have to check out her channel and see what that is. 'Cause she's a very talented lady. Okay, here we go. There we go. And again, sometimes you mess up, but this technique, you are able to repair your errors. But again, you go so slow. In the beginning, you might have errors, but once you catch your pace, you do it a lot, you really won't have that many errors. But it does happen. Sometimes when I'm trying to blend the fabrics in, one fabric will get pulled and the other fabric won't, and you gotta fix it, but it's okay. I also like to do a zigzag stitch down the middle of this. This stitch is pretty much to secure it. You put embellishments on a strip of paper. Oh, I've seen those snippets. Yeah, I've seen those. Those are cute. I have not made any myself, but I have seen them. I have seen some fabulous ones. I have not tried them. I should try it. I should join in the fun. Okay, there we go. We got the fabric underneath. Okay, our little tool. This is a very, I'm not even lying. This is a delicate process right here when it comes to blending the two fabrics. But it's not impossible. Just gotta take it slow, real slow. go. And you want to make your strips 1 inch by about 8 inch. I really want to make it any smaller than 8 inch. Otherwise, you'll end up with just a tiny little piece. The tiniest of little pieces. Okay. Here underneath. Bits of paper, everything in form of textile paper, such as tool buttons, etc. Your fabric ruffles will be cute on them. I'll have to watch her video. I know she does some fabulous things. Fabulous. Okay. Let's get this right here. Use my little tool as a weight for it. Try to make sure I get one of each of these fabric pieces. I'll make sure I don't miss one. Right. Gotta put this in. Okay. Sometimes you might have to fold it underneath, like this right here. It's actually folded there. That'll work too. I need to start getting ready for Christmas, y'all. Start making Christmas printables and some probably Christmas journals. Start them now because y'all know I take forever. I'm always on a never-ending saga to finish my journals. I need a cup of water. 1 second. Oh, God, I spilled some Gatorade. Oh, dang it. 1 moment, I'm thirsty. One second, I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry, I had to wash my cup. But it is the best cup in the world, though. Look at this. I don't know if y'all know who this is. Some of y'all know who this little guy is right here. I love this little guy so much. He's so cute. He's the best. He's one of my favorite little characters. Honestly, I love that little guy more than I love Mickey Mouse. Little Bucky's. He's so cute. I love that little Beaver. Thank you so much, Jude, for the links, girl. She's got the links for y'all. I do have my Facebook and Instagram. And also, I think I list my Pinterest down there also. If you guys want to follow me, I have a Facebook group, the Junk Journal Cool Kids. I'm going to start being more active on there once my mom is good. And I'm also going to get my design team together really, really soon. That's coming as well. I'm going to have some more design team calls really, really soon. So that's all coming. Tomorrow, I might actually feel like working on a junk journal. Like, I have one that I have to finish decorating. I've put it off for some time. I've been doing other things, and I think I'm back ready to get into my decorating game. Okay, this looks so cute. And right there, we're gonna fix it right now. Waterfield tastes so good right now. Tastes like extra good for some reason. Okay, I'm trying to fix my camera, but I think we're okay. Okay. So I'll probably be decorating tomorrow. I think that's what I feel like doing tomorrow. Feels like the plan, but don't hold me to it because I was trained on it. No, I'll probably be ready for that because I'm going to keep Ruffle making at my mom's house. Can finish up a signature or so. That's good. It'll be good. I am spending the night at my parents' house. If y'all don't know, because normally I'd be doing 2 lives per day when I'm doing my decorating, but since I am not about to take all my decor, all my embellishments to my mom's house, I'll have to do 1 hour at a time. It's just what it is right now. It's all the time I have. I take some stuff. I can't take everything. It's just too much. It's just too much. Okay. I do like to alternate the fabrics really well, so now I'm trying to think of which one I have not used in a minute. I guess this one. I guess. Okay. Trying to tuck it in as much as I can. There we go, right there. Okay. Okay. This fabric is a little bit slippery, so you have to hold it extra tight. Sometimes the fabrics that are a little bit shinier than others have a little bit more plastic in them, so they're going to be a little bit slippery. Just going to be a lot more slick. Yeah. Again, you see how slow I'm going. That's why it's a line down my ruffles so straight. Because it's such a slow process. And it's really easy to keep it nice and straight and even. Go. Again, give yourself a 1 inch by about 8 inch strip. You can make it a little bit longer, probably 12 inch. Be a nice size of a strip. And cut it down to about maybe 6 inches. Just like that. So you just catch your own little rhythm, get your own little pace going. Right there. Get my next strip here. I cut about probably way too much fabric for this, but now I gotta make it all. So that's gonna take me, I don't know, forever. Just about forever. Okay. I think this was curtains as well. I'm not mistaken. Somehow I always try to remember what kind of, where it came from. Was it bedsheet? Was it sometimes I use curtains, sometimes I use pillowcases. For some reason I try and remember, like, what was that again? I think this is a curtain. Okay. To hold it there. Okay, I'm gonna use this blue one. So pretty. This for sure is a bedsheet. Sometimes the best you can do is having it be folded, but at least make it nice and straight here. See, it gets a little messy sometimes, like this right here, but just go nice and slow, and it'll work out well. And if it doesn't, you can always cut it out and sew this whole strip back together again. Before I go, let me show you how that is done. Let me just finish off this strip here. I'll show you how to put it back together. Because I think I made some mistakes in the other one. I'm not going to admit it, but I think I did. Let's see. There. I'm just going to end it right there. Now, I did, again, my straight stitch was at default, so it was at 2.5 length. It works pretty good. Everything looks good on this one. I don't think I made a mistake here. This is what I was able to make in this hour. Again, this is about 3 feet. So about 3 feet an hour, I would say I could do. So, okay. This is the bunch that I made earlier. And I feel like I did make some mistakes somewhere. This is the end of it. Let's see if I can find the mistake. Let's see. It's just, I know there was one that I was like, I need to fix that. Sometimes the fabric just slips too much, like right here. See that? I don't like that. So, I didn't bring my fabric scissors. Fabulous. So, I'm going to cut this off right here. Okay, let's just say that was a mistake. It's really not. Okay, wait. Let me find where I actually made a mistake, because I know I did. Hang on. I can't be that good. I'm just kidding. Right here. See that pleat? No, that's not that bad. Hang on. It's actually not the worst right there. This is not good right here. Okay, we can pretend that I messed up right here because it actually doesn't look so bad. But I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut the bad part out. And also, you don't have to make it all one big roll. You can make different sections and then sew them together again. So now we're just literally gonna cover up one pleat and sew that together. Just put it on top of each other. Good parts. We're just gonna sew it together. Just make it a little. I'm gonna do back stitch a little bit, just because I do want to make it a little bit more secure. Just sew on it, and then back stitch again. And pretty much that's how you put them together. So I just put those two sections together. And so you can make different sections and sew them together or cut out pieces where you messed up. But all in all, this is a really nice, easy process. It doesn't require a lot of tools. And as long as you can make 1-inch strips of fabric, you can make a bunch of ruffles, you guys. So thank you guys so much for joining me today on this live. I will be back live tomorrow at some point in the day. Lately, I've been going live between like 5 and 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But you guys can always check out the video that I posted the day before if you guys want. I always have a new video on my channel pretty much every single day. So again, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a little thumbs up. It lets me know that you care, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Bye, Jude.